Okay, okay.
There it is.
What have you brought upon this cursed land? Why do Ouija boards work? Okay, sure. Let's watch it. It's a 6-minute long, so why not?
There it is. We got candles. We got spooky lighting. What else do we need to summon the forces of darkness?
We need a board game from Hasbro.
The modern road meets the mystifying oracle.
How does this go from a genuinely haunted talisman to a board game?
Well, the first written record of what they call
Money.
planchette talking or spirit boards or talking boards was in 1100 AD in China. There's record of it being used all over the world, in Rome and Greece and so forth. But in 1890, in the rise of spiritualism in the United States, it was patented by William Fuld and Elijah Bond.
Now, this is back when everyone had talking to dead people fever.
Exactly.
It was an actual
Yeah.
medical condition.
Yes, it was like Pac-Man fever, but with dead people. Now, there are a lot of knockoffs, but Ouija is the one that is used by Hasbro.
Now, I've heard that Ouija at some point they were saying.
Oh, so the
fusion of
name
Ouija
comes
and
from
Ya from
Hasbro.
German and French, but that's not true. That's like retcon,
That's
right?
not true. Yeah, that's just something that these guys made up to sound kind of exotic.
Mysterious.
Originally, it was one of the guys that they worked with, and he was saying that Ouija was an ancient Egyptian word meaning good luck.
Oh, but even that's BS, right? Just made up.
Exactly. It just sounds spooky.
God, man, those days must have been great.
Ouija.
Anyone could just make anything up. There's no internet to correct them.
Oh, God, you could just lie to people and make money off of it.
Unlike now,
Well.
where we know that's totally ended.
Oh, yeah.
All right, look, we got someone. What are we gonna ask? What are we gonna ask?
Look how
I
cheap it
didn't read the
looks.
rule book. Did we read the rules?
Oh, wait.
Oh, it comes with a
Are
rule
there
book.
rules?
Okay.
For decades, players have brought their questions to the Ouija board. What you do with the information it reveals is between you and the mystifying oracle. Man, those are some carefully selected
Yeah.
words.
Yes.
And then the tagline, Ouija, it's only a game. Isn't it?
Monopoly, it's a quick game.
Isn't
it? I had always heard when you were a kid that, like, you
Well, they
never
cannot
use
get
it
sued, so
alone. You always have to do a
they did pretty well.
figure eight. We built up this mythology as kids.
Let's do it real quick then.
Okay,
All right,
okay.
all right. Hands on all the way. Is YouTube's content ID policy a pain in the ass? You're pushing it.
I'm not.
I know you are.
I'm not. I'm barely
What
touching
are you
it.
talking about?
I'm barely touching it. You're pushing it.
No, I'm not.
There we go.
I swear.
Yeah.
It
True.
feels to me like you
That's
are
true.
pushing it.
It feels to me like you were definitely pushing it. I'm barely touching it.
I love
Try it again?
the
Yeah,
music in the
okay,
background.
it's good. Okay. Traditionally, you would sit there and everyone would focus on it, and then you would say, "Is someone there?"
And let me guess. It said yes.
Yeah, and the way it works basically is either one person controls it,
You're
who's
supposed to build like a bond with the
he's
spirit,
like,
what
you know,
you're
pushes
saying.
without people
You
knowing,
die, and
or
sometimes it would get
through
angry, you know, and then
just
go to goodbye.
me-
Like it doesn't want to talk
like
to
this
you anymore.
It is really
involuntary
remarkable, the
muscular
sensation
thingy
of
that
feeling
you
like
do
the thing's
when you
moving on its
really
own.
wanted to go
It does feel
somewhere.
like the other person's moving it. But you know
If you
how
focus
all
too
of
much
this
on
works.
yes, you will naturally
That's
just go.
right. And the
There you
best
go.
demonstration is one you could do that will actually fool yourself. It's called
That was
Schrodinger's
right.
pendulum. Do you ever see one?
Oh,
Okay, good.
that
This
was-
is one everybody should try at
the
home
time-
right along
the
with
timing
us.
was perfect.
All you need is some kind of string.
Yeah,
In fact, I
if
use
you
my
focus too much on the
earbuds
yes,
before,
you will
and some
naturally
kind of
just
weight
push it
at
to the
the end.
yes
So I'm going to use my ring.
without even
So go ahead and
without
try
even
this
noticing.
off. And
But
we're
of course, you know, your
gonna
friend
go
could be a
to
dick and be like,
dowsing. You know what
yes.
dowsing is, right?
That's where you use something to try to find water, right?
Correct. So we're gonna summon an actual spirit from Atlantis named Bob, right? So I want you to hold it in your right hand, kind of up here, your left hand underneath to kind of summon the energy.
Oh yeah, same
And
thing. I
ask
just
him-
gonna
imagine
do
you ask Bob a
circle or
question,
go
and this will
straight.
work for everybody trying at home as well. And Bob's gonna answer by moving the ring forward and backwards to indicate yes. So I want you to just, with your mind, imagine it going forward and backwards, and it will actually start to move. Even though there's no conscious way you're manipulating it, it'll actually start moving forward and backwards on its own.
There it is.
There it is. Now watch this.
Wow.
You could get him to change his mind and say no by moving it in a circle. Just picture it moving in a circle now. Is that amazing?
Yep. And he does. You don't even feel it.
incredible.
It
So
just
the way
happens
this works
naturally.
is the ideomotor response is all those tiny micromuscular movements that we don't consciously know that we're making. But when we imagine something, you eventually make those movements in accordance with it. You kind of set up a resonance where all those little movements kind of tie together to cause it to move the way you imagine. This is what all forms of dowsing boil down to, is dowsing shows you what you expect to see. you're picturing something right about here, and then of course the ideomotor response takes over. So when everybody puts it on here, this is super slidey, right? You got these felt things on here. So as a result, it takes virtually nothing to move it around. And so when everybody puts it down, we all expect it to go to yes. We're all having those tiny micromuscular movements, and then eventually this kind of consensus happens.
See, like I was saying,
all move to yes.
It's kind of a snowball effect. So when you see it
the
heading in a
amount
certain direction,
of things or tricks
in fact,
that work
so
this
big,
way,
this is
it's
what causes
surprising
table
actually.
tipping. You remember the end of that movie, The Others, when the ghosts get mad and it's throwing the table around? That's something that would happen during seances. Everybody would put their hands on the table and no one person realizes that they're moving around, but as it starts to jostle, everybody's trying to stop it, and by trying to stop it, they're knocking over candles and creating a health hazard.
Let's see if we can get a third host on
But
this,
yeah,
a
like,
ghost host.
Ghost host?
It's
ghost
pretty
host.
common
Gonna
with a lot
find out
of
the
those
name of the
tricks
ghost.
or
Better
just
not
talking
be
with ghost things.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, is someone there?
God, it really feels like it's moving on its own.
Yeah, I'm barely touching it. Leave your hands floating there. It's like a cartoon. Like
It's like you just ran away with the book.
That was pretty good. That was actually pretty good. And I like that it's short. Thank you. That was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's not anything that I didn't know already, but I know a lot of you guys are not gonna know about how that actually works. But yeah, and then the one, what is it? The one that has like the pencils or pens that you put together. Yeah, that one doesn't even, that one is just when that one is just either just naturally you're breathing from like, oh, what's gonna happen? Two, just your friend just trolling you. That was good.